was working at a company out in Aurora, and every day for lunch we would go out and play ball at the local courts. And this particular day, some of the fellas were just around shooting around. I think I was maybe in my early 30s, and it was a couple of kids riding around on their bike, a couple Caucasian kids, of course, and it was down the block. And at first, I didn't think that they even paid attention until we were out there playing ball, and we were just out there shooting. Maybe about 5 or 6 of us, and the kids got a little closer, maybe 100 yards away, and I heard one of the little boys. It was 2 young boys, couldn't have been no more than maybe 13, 14 years old, and one of the boys just yells out, "Nigger," and they laughed and rode off.
The first incident I can remember is growing up in Joliet. We were actually the first black family on our block. And I was a baby, so I really didn't know about the struggles they had to go through. It was about when I was 8 or 9 years old, me and my group of friends were walking down the street. We got to the corner, and the police pulled us over. We weren't doing anything, we just walked to the corner store like usual, put us up against the wall, and then a police car drove past with what we thought were older, she might have been in her 30s or 40s, we don't know, a woman in the back seat who just happened to be Caucasian, and asked her if we were him. Well, we weren't.
Some of the guys actually thought it was funny. Some of the guys were upset. Some of the guys were even considering chasing the guys down. But me, I actually paused for a minute because I considered these are young babies. These are kids. What would prompt these kids to use that word? It was really, really disappointing to see that. They had no idea who we were. They had no idea as young people what that word means. So what would prompt them to say that? And I couldn't come up with anything else, but somebody put that in their heads. Maybe family or friends or somebody that they know put that in their heads. Yeah, so that moment was really, it was just awkward.
In the moment when we were there, I was very confused, didn't know what was happening. And to see that it was dusk, it wasn't dark. Some of my Caucasian friends, which we had, were just walking uninterrupted on the other side of the street. So once they pulled off, we went home. And I kind of mentioned it to my parents, and they saw it because it was literally right down the street from my house. And they were upset more so than we were, and I couldn't understand why. And it was one of my older relatives who told me, he said all that woman had to do, he said all that white woman had to do was say you did it, and you would have been in jail. And that's when I understood the gravity of the situation. And it turns out the person they were looking for was in his late 20s, about 6 feet tall, and a fair complected, which is completely opposite of me.
Well, absolutely. I really believe that I bounced back from that situation. Number one, because after you think about it, you think about they were kids and, you're an adult. Now, that doesn't change that. Even as an adult, you have thoughts that, maybe I should go do something. But at that time, I did have a young son. So you think about, wow, this I can use as a teaching moment for my own son. So I had to bounce back pretty quick because I couldn't.
I think I've achieved Black resilience simply because that was just the first incident, first of many. That was in the early 70s, mid 70s. I have stories like most people that I can recount all the way up through my college days and military days in the late 80s, early 90s. And I think each time it happens, you build a toughness, a resilience, understanding the way to survive the incident. So yeah, I think I've built that up over the years.
I was just speaking to my daughter the other day about some things that she was disappointed about. I let her know, baby, things in the world are gonna disappoint you. You're gonna have moments in your life that are gonna be wow moments, like, wow, that person said that or did that to me. I want you to be able to bounce back from those moments and remember everything that your parents taught you, your teachers taught you, your grandparents taught you, and to always first be a child of God. And as a child of God, as a Christian, we are to act differently than the world. We are not to allow our emotions to get the best of us. Even though I know some moments you want to. I know some moments you want to lash out. You want to respond to the ignorance that people say out their mouth and the ignorance that people have towards you because of who you are. But you can't respond to it. You have a bigger goal. Your goal is to represent first God. Your second goal is to represent your family and to represent your community. And when you do that, and when you live for God every day, I think you'll be okay.
My advice that I give to my kids every day when I drop them off at school, when they went to school, kids and grandkids, is make good choices. That's our initials, MGC. That's our motto, make good choices. And it's not just to say make good choices, but how do you make good choices? When you have an encounter with the police, it's your responsibility to just get home. When you can't control how other people act, but you can always control how you react to their actions. So the onus is on them, the onus is on us to control how we feel, what we say, and how we think in those moments, and use those as stepping stones to become stronger going forward.
I am Ernest Deshaun Pettis, and I am Black History.
I am Elder Michael G. Cooper, and I am Black History.